All right. Hey, Market Roadmap subscribers. Welcome. I haven't done a video in a little while, so let's get at it here. Let's start out and review last week's list real quickly. Take a moment to review. So even with we just came off a pretty bad week. The Black Friday was pretty bad. Um, Monday was okay. Tuesday, big drop again, and then Friday, big drop, but a speedy recovery there at the end of the day once again. And today is the 5th of December on Sunday. So I want to take a minute, look back through last week's list. You have Goldman Sachs, GS, Gulf Sierra. We had put it on the list last week, and even with the weakness this week, still holding up really well. It's not below the line, the roadmap line. It's still holding up really well. So that one's still looks really good for a possible entry. Has it signaled yet? No. We're waiting for a 513 cross, which on the Echo Trades indicator puts a little triangle here. But for 513 right here, turn those on. We're waiting for that to cross on this daily as your first entry. That'd be an aggressive entry, not a confirmed entry, just an aggressive entry. So, if that happens, GS looks like it could be a long. And so you say, okay, well, what are the targets? Well, we take the fib tool, 2-point tool, run it from the top, swing high to swing low. We look at it, we could see prices up to 440, 439 area. And how long? Well, this pullback took all of November. So if this gets going, the longer it takes to get going, you have to adjust your time out though. But right now, if it got going this week, we could expect it to take at least through March or April. At least 3 times longer than the pullback took. So 1 month pullback, looking for a 3 month run out to the target, and it could take out to 5 months. So it could take on out into May or June even. So you need to make sure you have enough time when you buy your option. All right, Morgan Stanley, same sort of situation. This pullback took 2 months really when you look at it. October, November. So it could be looking at a little bit longer. It could be looking at a 6 month run. It could be, well into June before we get there. This one, again, not quite set up bullish on the 513. It had a green cross there, but it had a red cross the next candle. Tested the roadmap line. If it sets up something, it's probably going to take something in this area to get going. Now, what kind of target would Morgan Stanley need? Let's remove this previous line here. From the swing high to the swing low, we can see prices up to 109. And the stretch goal on that would be like 113. Noki, again, held up. All these are holding up really well against the down this week. So Noki, the kind of target we would be looking for is a little bit more expanded. Yeah, we had a little trouble getting above the 618 right here. Retraced back to the roadmap line a second time. This is like an extended correction, and we would need something to really get me interested in this. I need a break above this test of the 618 right there. So this would not only, you could have an aggressive entry here, and at $5 a share, you could buy shares, but you would need it to get above this to confirm the long entry here. What are we looking at? We're looking at something like 657 for the first target. 693 would be an extension, would be a stretch goal. And this July, August, September, I guess it started August, September, October. August, September, 2 months. Of course, we haven't really gotten started on the bullish yet, so you could be expecting that to take till June if it got going. Another 6-monther. All right. OPRX, Oscar Papa Romeo X-ray, is below the roadmap line. It did not hold the roadmap line last week or this week, this past week. So this one's in the red zone for now. If this pops right back up, it's okay. If it but right now the continuation is going to be, this is setting up for a reverse roadmap where it broke below, it'll continue down, retest, and then continue down more. So that right there, not great for a bullish trade right now. Then OXY, Oscar X-ray Yankee, again holding up really well. The roadmap line provided really good support. This one, if we were to run the fib tool from the swing high to the swing low, looks like we could get 38 or 40. But again, we have to have the 513 cross on the daily here. Then we'll get above the 618 as a confirmation, and then we could be on the way to the target. TGT. This one came up just a bit shy. It did touch right here. This is like a retrace back. This could be a really good setup as long as it holds above the roadmap line and then gets bullish again. The target is going to be target on target. Right now, if it extends down anymore, it'll of course change the target a little bit because you got to go to the lowest low. Right now, looking for 276 to 286. From 247 right now, that's a pretty fair move. So that's going to do it for last week's. So let's jump over to this week's picks. So we're going to start out with BP. This one did have a little bit of trouble. Oil was having a rough time this week with some of the news. Had a deeper pullback. But it is holding, I consider this to be holding the line. It dips below but pops right back up. Dips below, pops right back up. As long as we don't see something sustained, this over here would have had me concerned it was sustained. And it did sustain for months. July, August, September, October, almost October. October is when it really started reversing higher. So right now we're looking at a resistance around 2850 area, right there, that 618. So the 513 cross would be the first sign of an entry. Getting above that 618 makes it, kind of confirming, or it does confirm the entry. Then 3160, 33 would be the first and second upside targets. You could get extension targets on out to much higher levels, but those would be the levels I would be looking for originally, initially in the trade. Cisco dipped way down, and then it's kind of like a dip and ripped right back up through. This one does have, right on Friday, it got the 513 cross. So this one's one to watch. Immediate breakout scenario sitting here. Clearing this point right here is kind of very, very necessary. Right there, it's got to get above there on this next move up. There's probably a resistance zone sitting there underneath it. Excuse me. Where all those tails are right there. You see the candle wicks or tails or whatever, topping tails. You got to get back through that zone right there. Breaking out above that, pretty darn bullish for Charlie. Sierra Charlie Oscar. Swing high right there to swing low right there. Using the 2-point tool. 62.84. First upside target. From 56 right now. And 66 up here is a stretch goal. How long? Again, this correction right here took excuse me, took from late August. So we got September, October, November, 3 months. So this next run could take easily 3 months, and probably 3 times that could take 9 months. So we could be looking into late summer next year before we get up into this target area. Something to keep in mind as you trade these is what kind of time frame. How long did the pullback take? I like to give it 3 times more at the minimum. That's a minimum, not like a maximum. So it could take even longer. DE, Delta Echo, John Deere. This one's been really testing the roadmap line. And we need to see the first thing we need to see is it get above this high right here. And then we can see it get above this high right here. Not working. There we go. That high. And then we can make all-time highs. So the ultimate high to the ultimate low is a big 3-wave correction. So we have resistance right where it found resistance and it retraced back. You see this is a common theme here. We come up to the 618 and we retrace back to the line. So 422 would be a first target if we can start getting some bullish action going here. All right. MS is back on the list again. We already talked about that. NOK back on the list again. Already talked about that. TGT back on the list again. These are all looking really good this week. A new one here, XLU. This one's been a little bit sloppier, holding the roadmap line really well. So it hit the 618 again, right back to the roadmap line, breaking back through above these highs is going to be where I would look long, right there. We're looking for 71.85 to 74.15 on that one. Now, anybody that's followed me for very long knows I love Mara, M-A-R-A, Mike Alpha Romeo Alpha. This one had this consolidation and was holding the low from October right here. Held it for like 8 days. This tool is not drawing today. Held that tool, held that support line from October for like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 or 9 days, and then all of a sudden, boom, right on Friday, right to the roadmap line. This is one to watch very closely. I need to remove some of these old prior lines off of here. Clean it up a little bit. It did come up to an extension target area. Remove these off, remove these off, remove these off. Okay, so we've hit here. We need to grab our 2-point tool, run it in here like so. So 66.75 is going to be a resistance zone if we can get something bullish. Well, we could see this thing run up to 66.75 and come back to the roadmap line one more time, possibly, or it could just giddy up and go, and we end up at 94 to 109. I've been looking for triple digits. That could be quite bullish, and this one could extend on out. So right now, that's kind of what I have. I'm putting a bonus watch list item of Mara, M-A-R-A, out here this week. I've got more than normal this week, so I hope you have plenty to look at. Hope this video helps you a little bit understand how to work with these. Now, these are not necessarily set up for entry. I think we saw one in here that was actually signaling the aggressive entry already. So you want to wait for confirmation, and you want to get in and ride these out to these targets. So that's the point of the watch list, is to give you some stocks that you can get into, just buy one share even, and ride these out to the targets. Make a little return on them. All right. If you have questions, jump into Discord. I have the Roadmap Q&A channel. You can ask questions about it. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll be back with you next week. Thanks.